You're not too sensitive. You're not dreaming too big. You don't love too deep. You don't care about the wrong things. You have been trying to exist in a world that has suppressed your exact, unique, innate gifts. And it is our time. Welcome to one of the most important conversations I can be having here on the podcast. And it's funny, every time I go to record a podcast, I always sit down, I always get present, I always get in the energy, I always ask God to speak through me. But this one, I very specifically ask God to give me the words and ask God to almost emphatically and magnetically get this message to the women who were supposed to hear it. Listen, if you're listening to God Not Guru, you're not asleep. You're not, oblivious to the destruction and the full fall down and break apart that is happening on the planet right now. And what I want you to know is that if you are hearing this episode, you are a part of the solution. It is going to be through the rise of feminine leaders that we will lead not what's coming next, what is here now. There is a thing for you to do now. And over the last couple of years, we could feel something was changing, but everything on the surface still looked the same. We've all been going through this collective, internal, personal fall down, break apart, re-identity. For a while we felt so restless and disconnected, but we are here in this moment where we get to choose what we do next. And I want to talk about what's happening on a bigger level globally, collectively, so you can understand how we got here and what we as women need to do next, because I'm inviting you to participate in your own way in being a feminine leader that is creating change on this planet. So we're all very aware. It doesn't matter what channel you turn on or what social media platform you turn on. You are seeing the absolute burn down of everything. Education, our political systems, the officials and authorities that we thought that we could trust, we're all figuring out it was all a lie. And we're all on a different spectrum with this, by the way. Some of you are just waking up for the first time and you're like, what the, WTF, everything I've ever been told is a lie. And you're going through the grief response of going, this world that I thought I was living in doesn't even exist. Then there's some of us who have already had a sense for this. Maybe you had an understanding, yep, that's all an illusion, but now we're finding out to the degree that it is an illusion and how fake and false and corrupt everything was. And then there's some of us who are I've known for a while and now we're all here and I'm so happy you're awake so we can change the planet. I'm actually super curious where you feel like you are on the spectrum. You'll have to send me a DM and let me know, because we are on a spectrum of waking up, but the truth is we are all waking up. We are waking up to what has been broken for a really long time. And in order to heal it, we have to participate. So I want to talk about what's happening on the planet. So there is this prophecy, and it's called the bird of humanity. And this bird, I want you to imagine, if you're watching the video on YouTube, you'll see, I want you to imagine you've got your fist out, and I want you to pop your thumb out and pop your pinky out. And one of these wings, your masculine wing, is your pinky out. And one is your feminine wing, your thumb. And I want you to tuck your thumb in. For centuries, we have had the masculine wing of society, of the world, extended. It has been fully expressed, and the feminine wing has been tucked in. And so this masculine wing has been overexerting itself. It's been too muscular, too developed, too dominant. And when we think about the masculine qualities, if you know anything about energetics, the masculine qualities are things like productivity, structure, force, output, linear, achievement, assertive energy. So think about that. We have been living in a society dominated by these qualities. And what happens if only one wing is extended on a bird? It flies in circles. And so for centuries, we have been repeating the same patterns, the same stories, the same history over and over and over again, because we've had an over dominance of masculine energy. And so what is being asked of this time is that not that the man fall, it's that the feminine wing rise. It's asking that we as women step into our innate gifts and to be fully and finally expressed, to bring some equilibrium back to the planet. By the way, this will allow men to finally relax. And this bird of humanity, the unity and equilibrium that can exist, it will finally get to soar instead of flying in circles. And when we hear that that's happening, sometimes it's really helpful for us to hear that, especially when chaos is happening, because it's easy for us to see everything that is falling apart around us and say, let me just put my hands up, like I feel completely out of control. And here's the truth. We do not have control over what happens to us, but we have control over how we respond to it and the story we tell about it. And when we get to change the narrative, like, oh, this is a prophecy, this is a moment in time that has been waiting to be fulfilled for feminine women to step up and take their place. When we change the narrative, it shifts our context. And when we shift the context, it shifts how we show up and ultimately the action we take. It changes the frame we have around it, the containers we put ourselves, the conversations we have around it, and a new story is able to reshape. It would be easy for us to look at this and say this is a moment of breakdown. Or we could say, it's the moment of prophecy. This is a moment of breakthrough, right? Instead of this looking like an obstacle, this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity for us to rise. And so I want to talk about why the feminine is that missing piece. I want you to think about feminine energy. Feminine energy. And just as I say these things, I even feel emotional. Like I want you to think about if these energies were leading on our planet. The feminine is authentic. The feminine is caring. Women, the feminine energy, are always thinking about what's better for the collective whole. They are always community-driven, collaborative, generous, creative. Think about a woman. She is a portal for new life. Women are ultra sensing. We are intuitive. We can feel truth. We create life. We hold community. We lead from within. Imagine if we had feminine energy leading in our world right now. Do you think we would have some solutions? Yes. And we would have solutions that aren't just good for the few at the top. And we wouldn't just have some solutions that are good for like a small majority that take from the people underneath. No, women, think about what is good for me, what is good for us, what is good for the world. And right now, women are being called. You are being called, and it is time for us to play our rightful role in creating a transformed world. And this awakening has been happening in women. And I want to really talk about what awakening means, because an awakening, I want you to hear me when I say this, an awakening means what you are longing for has always been there. Think about that for a second. It's not something that you had to acquire. An awakening is something that is igniting. It's been lying dormant inside of you. You, my sister who is hearing this, you are like a seed of potential. You have had potential, all the intelligence ingrained inside of you. And like a seed, it's been waiting to be planted in the perfect conditions to grow. And that environment is right now. If you don't get about your priorities right now, if you don't step into your values right now, if not now, when? What do you need in order to get self-empowered? What more has to happen for you to get aligned? What more needs to break down in the world for you to get really clear on who you are and what matters and to take back your power? And I want you to think about who women are. This is the environment for us. Do we need some more emotional intelligence in our world? Yes, we do. We need emotionally intelligent women. Women are emotionally intelligent. We are nervous system sensitive and aware. We are relational leaders, meaning we are relationship focused. We are led through our intuition. And the problem is we have been existing in a world that has been masculine dominant, that has asked us to stay quiet, to be small, to people please, to think with logic, to make choices based on what we should or have to do, to seek approval. Does this make sense? Right? We've been taught to trust everyone else outside of us and not trust ourselves. So those same traits that we were taught to suppress in ourselves, those are the exact traits that this world needs at this moment. I want you to let that sit in for a second. You're not too sensitive. You're not dreaming too big. You don't love too deep. You don't care about the wrong things. You have been trying to exist in a world that has suppressed your exact, unique, innate gifts. And it is our time. This is why I have gotten really excited. I'm leading a movement I would like to invite you into. Everything I'm doing in business and life right now is building up one woman, an identity, the rise of the multidimensional matriarch. Because the matriarch, I want you to think about a matriarch. A matriarch is a leader, a feminine leader of her community. I want you to think about the qualities of a matriarch if you've ever heard of it. And some people just think of like the feminine leader of their family, but matriarchs were traditionally in communities. You don't have to be a mother in order to be a matriarch. But a matriarch is a woman who leads herself first. She's a woman. I want you to feel into what a matriarch is in a community. You watch her presence walk in a room and she says everything without saying anything. She's got such safety in her body and in her knowing and in her home. She makes aligned decisions from love and from truth, not from fear. She cannot be moved by outside forces because she knows who she is. She builds wealth. She has resourcing. She has stability in her finances without abandoning herself. She influences through her presence and not force. And because of this matriarch who makes decisions based on what's best for everybody else, that leadership changes the entire community. It changes the family. It changes the dynamic. It changes everyone around her. And so the old way of leadership was about hustling and about control and about dominance and about performance and about image and perception. Thank God that has been exposing and dying. It's so funny. I love that I named my podcast very prematurely, very intuitively early, Guide Not Guru. All the gurus are falling. All the gurus are falling. And I've been saying, don't have a guru. You've been your own guide. So the new level of leadership for women is grounded. She is, I've got a mantra for the matriarchs. If you're choosing to participate in this new identity I want to give us, we have our feet on the ground, but our head in the sky. Feet on the ground, head in the clouds. I want you to envision that for a second. We are so firmly here on the earth. We are safe within ourselves. We're safe on the ground. We trust ourselves with this life, and we lead from a visionary place. We are constantly building and creating, talking, speaking about, declaring over, investing in, taking inspired action towards a reality that does not exist. This is the matriarch. I'm right here. I'm not afraid to be right here on this earth. I will lead from where I am, but don't you believe I am guided by something that does not yet exist. This is you. And this invitation, I hope you feel from me the sense of conviction I have, because this is both an invitation and a responsibility. This is not a time to be passive. We live in a time where the challenges we are facing are so great, we cannot get away with just working on ourselves anymore. That was sweet. That was cute. That time has passed. Our own personal development is not enough anymore. Everything we do has to be for the greater calling, for the greater service of this planet, for the greater people you choose to love and invest in your home. It has to be beyond you. And you are being called right now. Again, I promise you did not get this episode if it was not for you, because you are being called. You are being called by something greater, by someone bigger, by an energy, a power, a divine God, whatever you want to call it. You are being invited to bring something that needs to exist into the earth, but not everyone will answer the call. We get to split reality here. There's totally an opportunity for you to put your head in the sand and pretend like this doesn't exist. And you can choose that. You have free will. But I bet you've been feeling a stirring inside of yourself. I bet you've been asking yourself, what can I do? Where am I supposed to show up here? There's got to be a better way. How do we change this planet? One of my favorite books that I ever read, I've talked about it before, it's called Big Magic, and it's by Elizabeth Gilbert. And this changed my life, because what she said is, she said, listen, inspiration is all around us. There are ideas, invisible ideas swarming around us everywhere we are. And these ideas are looking for a host. They are looking for the perfect person that would become their home, that would host that idea from inspiration into ideation, into creation, right? It's looking for someone that will take that idea and make it a real thing on the planet. And so what these ideas do is they come to lots of people at once. So if you've ever seen like somebody's had an idea and they're like, I just had that same idea like 3 months ago. I cannot believe this person created it. It's because ideas God has like this aerial view of everything that's going on. And God is like, listen, I know what needs to happen on the planet right now. And I'm going to send this to a lot of available, really good potential people who would be a good host for this thing to come in, but not everyone will answer. And so if you don't answer the call, that call will leave you. That idea will leave you, and it will go to someone who will make it a reality. And so there are solutions that want to exist on the planet, that want to happen through you. If you've been feeling yearning and ideas and solution, or like, this calling, it's calling you. And it's asking, will you make me real? Will you do your part? And we each have a role to play. And everyone's way will be different. We're not all called in the same way. And thank God. There are so many things that I see that need to exist on the planet. I'm like, I am not the girl for the job. But man, talking to the feminine leaders and helping them to rise, that's me. Put me in, coach, right? So I want to take a moment for a second, and I'm going to coach you like I do my clients. And I'm going to invite you to close your eyes for a second. And I'm going to invite you to take a deep breath, inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your mouth. And I'm going to invite you to bring your hand to your heart. And I want you to finish this statement. I dream of a world where what? I dream of a world where what? What's the world that you dream of? You can even pause this recording and just like let it flow, write it down on paper, just let whatever that vision is come through you. And after you've kind of just defined the world that you dream of, then I want you to ask God, how are you calling me to pour into this collective dream? What is my aspect to play? Here's the good news. God is not asking you to hold the whole thing. God's asking you to play your part. And you may be one of many people. I'm not the only person talking about the rise of feminine leaders, but I'll do my Kelly Brock part. I will hold it, love it, continue it, build into my aspect of that collective dream of a more beautiful, healed, healthy, unity world exist. So I want you to ask God, how are you calling me to play my part? What's my aspect to play here? And then I want you to keep your eyes closed and ask yourself one more question. What is the story you want to tell about how you showed up in history, in the history of these times? When we tell the story of history, what's the story you're going to tell about how you showed up? Did you ostrich, put your head in the sand, hope it got better? Or did you say, if not now, when? Did you claim, Esther, for such a time as this, I was called for such a time as this? What's the story you're going to tell? I think about the story I want to tell my children and my grandchildren about what happened when eras changed on the planet and who I was. Who was grandma? Who was mama? How much do I love them and their future that I would be willing to risk all of my ego to go for my part? My friends, this moment is going to require courage. There's no other way around it. This moment is going to require that you develop self-trust. In order to stand on that ground, you have to believe you can hold yourself here. This moment is going to require a willingness to see clearly. You've got to ask God to continue to lift the illusions from your eyes so that you can live and walk in and speak in truth. This moment is going to require that you become self-empowered. There are agendas on their way for us. And the women who are unafraid are the women who are prepared. They know that they can trust themselves. They can trust life. They can trust the action they take. They can trust the guidance that they're being given every single day. You need to become self-empowered. Because if they still own your power, then they can still dictate what you do, what you say, how you live, what you eat, what you breathe, all of the above. I'm going to be continuing on here episodes to help empower you. I'm going to keep holding conversations around helping you reclaim your energy, your power, your money, your choices. And right now, today was really just about helping you understand that when you step up as the feminine leader that you are, in whatever aspect that is, you guys, I have some women who are like, my part to play is to stop running a CEO business and to come back into my home. And some mothers who are in the home are like, my calling right now is to begin teaching other people how I'm able to have a nervous system regulated home. More families need to know emotional regulation. And I have some women who are saying, I need to get more of our messages out there. We need to author books, right? And I have some women who are saying, oh my gosh, we need to become rebellious. We need to learn how to take back our power. I need to teach this. No matter how yours shows up, there is not a better role to play. It's just your role to play. So I'm inviting you. I'm inviting you to become a matriarch, to step into an identity of a woman who has her feet on the ground, her head in the clouds, and she's willing to play her part for history. You have a part to play. And what's so cool about feminine leadership, we don't stand in a line, we hold hands in a circle. We collaborate, we believe for, we speak over each other, our greatness. And because of that, our power is exponential. And so you will not be doing your part alone. You will be doing this right alongside of other women. You're being supernaturally supported for this. And so my hope is that you will answer the call. I love you. I'll be here with you next week. If this episode blessed you, please share it. One of my favorite things about feminine leadership is reciprocity. We love to give, we love to receive, we love to give, we love to receive. So if this mattered to you, share it, tag it, send it to a friend. Movements don't happen by a leader. They happen by a group of people saying we're going in a collective direction together. We're believing in a world that doesn't exist yet, but we're holding hands in hands. And that's what I'm inviting you into. So I hope you'll join me in the multidimensional matriarch movement. I love you. I believe in you. I believe in us.